All right, welcome back to the session, students. So we are live, and let us see how the chats are coming in. I'll switch to live chat mode. All right, amazing. So, as promised, students, today we will be looking into some interesting features and advanced concepts of Excel, or you can say Google Sheet, where we will try to understand a lot of various things. I'll also, meanwhile, just share my screen. Let me check if it is visible. Yeah, the screen is up. Okay, cool. So let me just quickly remove and empty the data that we created last time. I'll just select all of this, delete, and is there anything else? Nope. All right. Okay, fine. So now let us understand few of the things such as uh, first of all, let's break down the agenda. That's the best thing to do. So today we will also be talking about some data analysis, how we can do it, probably about finding the average of few things, finding how many missing values are there. You can do count function on that. We will also look at many functions which can assist us do it. We can look into some advanced functions which can help us get certain answers which are built in with the spreadsheet itself. We will look at different formatting options. So we will look at VLOOKUP. We will go for the pivot tables. We will talk about it. We will also talk about how we can create graphs and also share those graphs using, of course, the spreadsheets of Google itself, right? So Google Sheets, this part will be covered today, and let us dive into the concepts then, right? So first of all, we will start looking into sorting, how we can sort. For that, I'll just quickly create some dummy data. Okay, for example, hashtag could be the values, and this could be the cost. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, like we can just quickly bold. This is like by default few things that I do. Okay, it is horizontally aligned centrally, and I'll just fill in some color. Okay, and add some border to it. Fine, as simple as that. Now once this is done, we will just simply add some items. Okay, we can say okay, let me just quickly copy a few things like burger, pizza, fries, cold drinks. Okay, and we can add few more things, right? Like pasta and garlic bread, wraps, just to make example more interesting, tacos. Okay, like there's some data that we have. All right, now I'll also go ahead and try to put it in the table, but this time reduce the lines right over here. Okay, and go over here once again, add some thick lines. Okay, I hope like my voice is clear, right, guys? Good evening, everyone. Yes, I can see chats coming in. Duration of the session duration is of around 2 hours, right? Okay, so these are few items that we will have. We can add, like the burger can cost around, okay, so since my numlock was not working, 120. Pizza could be around say 260. Let's make the burger of 140. 260 pizza. Fries would be of 120. Cold drinks could be of say 50 rupees. Pasta can cost around 180. Garlic bread will go for 100. Wraps will start from 160, and tacos will go from 90. Okay, these are few different things that we have. So usually we would like to see data sorted around or create some filters around it. So one way to do that is you can just go ahead and select the column that you want to sort on. Suppose B is that column, right? So if I go around B, you see there's a drop down that I get right over here. If I click on it, There will be many options available. The options could be whether you want to cut this column, copy this column, paste something into it, uh, insert one column to the left if you want to add one column to the left, or insert one column to the right, delete column, clear column, hide, resize, or create a filter around it. As I mentioned that we can create filters, right? And we will create some soon. Or then there is the option to sort, right? So this is the option that I'm talking about, that we can sort the column from ascending to descending or descending to ascending in that variation. If we click over here, what you see is that the entire column is sorted, but with it, something has happened which we didn't want to happen, is that our headers are also moved around, right? So this sorting of the sheet around a column should be done when you are not into headers, right? Let me do undo, control Z, and what is the best way to move around it is, then I'll have to select the range, okay, and then I'll have to go for basically data. In data, I will have to go for sort range, okay. Sort range by column B, ascending to descending, right? And I'll just click over it, and then you will see that now the range that I selected, based upon that, this column has been adjusted. But there is again a problem. The problem is that now column 1 is as it is, right? We just sorted one range. So again, moving from different features, I'm trying to explain you what is the variation that happens and when you should use what, right? So first part that you have already covered is, suppose if you want to uh, sort entire column, then you can just use a simply drop down from this B and sort the entire column as per it, right? Okay, let us just do Control Z around it. If you want to sort a range, then this selection will do that. So now let us go ahead and select this entire range, and then again go to data sort range by column B, but this time we have selected the entire range, right? So also let me first do Control Z, because the prices were not balanced. Burger was showing 50 rupees, right? Now let us select this range, and once I select this range, I'll go to data sort range by column B on A to Z, right? It's ascending to descending, and now when I click over it, is something that gives us the desired result that we wanted, which is like cold drinks are the cheapest thing that we can offer: tacos, garlic bread, fries, burgers, wrap, pastas, and pizzas, right? Now, as your menu grows in, you can get more things into it, and more complex data can be sorted like this, right? So that's about few things. We can also further go ahead and try to create some more complex data for us, right? So let's try to create some more complex data. I'll just delete it out, and I'll just say customer ID, which is like a unique ID that we will have to each customer. Okay, location. Okay, and we will go for we can go for more details like product ID, which is something like the uh, customer must have bought. Okay, quantity could be the price on which the customer has bought it. Let us, okay, fine, quantity, and then product cost, and then we will have total sales. Okay, this is something that we'll have. And now I've already explained you yesterday how format painter can work. So just by clicking on a cell through which you want to copy the format, which is like whatever the properties of cells are, like it has some color into it, it has bold, and whatever are applied on it, I'll just select format painter and paste it on the other options, right? It will format according to it. Again, I want to use, I can use any of the cell, I can use any of the cell. Okay, I'll use just one random cell. I'll copy the format using the format painter and paste all around here. Now, if you, I'm not releasing the click for now, because I wanted to pay special attention that the format that we have copied from this cell, it has all thin borders, right? So just pay attention to what will happen once I release this, and you see the headers like product ID, quantity, total sales, this headers, they have a thick border at the bottom which will go away. Once I click over it, you'll be able to see probably didn't go away because it maintained that format, but it is fine. But the idea was that I was trying to just show you that maybe it can go away if you're pasting the format, right? So well and fine if it didn't go, good enough for us. Okay, now again, once this is done, we will just move ahead and I'll just try to shorten up my column names like PID, quantity, and then PID cost. Okay, PID cost. Okay, fine. This works, and once we have it, I'll just switch to camel casing. It helps developers a lot. Okay, all right. Once this is done, we'll also remove this PID in rupees. Okay, okay, fine. So once we have this things with us, we can create some random customer IDs like uh, 105 9 9 86 87 102 99 197 87 46 86 and then 105. Okay, so these are the things. Maybe this person is located in Mumbai. Okay, this person is of course the same person, so has to be Mumbai. uh, Maybe this person is located in Delhi. Maybe this person is in from Mysore. Maybe this is from uh, you can say Bangalore or whatever you want. Okay, uh, maybe person this is from again could be Mumbai, or we can use Bangalore. So if we want to copy the value from the above cell exactly above, the adjacent above, we can use Control D, which will duplicate the cell from the top. The values Control D will help you copy paste the values directly. That is a shortcut that you can use. So if I want to paste value from top, Control D helps. Okay, then you can use whatever you want. So maybe Pune is the place. Okay, and similarly you can populate like Indore could be one place. So this is some data that we have located. Product ID, suppose they are buying some different products like 45333. Okay, this could be the product ID. I just added something which is like the discrepancy. Okay, 34 and then 66687 and then 334 342. Okay, so these are different products purchased by our customers, and quantity could be again something like 10 5 1 1 2 1 5 40. Okay, so this is some different orders that they have made. Now again, product cost could be, say, this product costs around 84 rupees. This product costs around 470 rupees. This product costs around 5496 rupees. This product costs around 220 450, something like this. Okay, and maybe something like this. Now we have cost of that product and we have quantity, so we can quickly just build in our total sales, which will be is equals to uh, as you can see, Google is smart enough, but we do not want that smartness. We are not planning to do sum of A to E2, which is the sum of the entire row. No, we don't want that, but we do want sum, and we want the sum from D2, which is the cell highlighted right over there, with say E2, right? E2 the cell, and these two cells are being, actually we don't even want sum. My bad. We just want D2 we want product of it, right? So we want the product of these two things, and we will just hit enter. Now autofill is suggesting us that do you want to apply down all other details? Yes, we want to apply it. Yes, this is done. Okay, now what we can do is we can select this. Suppose this is the data that we have, and once you have this data, we can go ahead and we can try to apply some advanced filters on it. So on you can say function tab, you will be able to see there is this one pipette kind of a thing the filter kind of a thing, which is like a triangle with a vertical line at the bottom, which is known as create a filter. Okay, and any given point of at any given point, if you are feeling that you're not able to find any symbols located at different place, or not able to find the things that I'm trying to show you, always rely on the search the menus. Okay, you can also activate it with the alt question mark. Alt question marks can also activate it. You see, alt and question mark, or the alt and slash, same key, will activate this. Or for Windows it could be, oh sorry, for Mac it could be command and this key, right? So when you're into it, you can just search for filter, and you see this create a filter will be available. Whatever you want to do, right? Even if you want to do things like sort. So you see sort sheet by this, sort function, all are available. So search will always help you find the correct function that you are looking for. But again, I'm trying to show you how we can do it. I'll select this range. I'll click on create filter. Once I click on it, you see this green colored uh, pattern is showing you on which level have the filters been applied. So you can see now the column names, they carry these three vertical dots like the Wi-Fi symbol, if you can want to say it like that, but not without with the arcs, right? It's a flat symbol. So here what you can see is now we have filters on each column, right? So suppose if I click filter over here, location, it allows me individual control. I can sort this particular column A to Z, and once I sort it, you see all other columns are also acting according to it. Uh, B, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's the logic it's being followed. But you see, every other filter is being applied over here, right? Suppose I'll do Control Z. I can explore more. I can sort by color or sort by things, but since color is not available, filter by color is not available because colors are not applied. Filter by conditions, filter by values. So I just want to see sales for Bangalore for now, right? This is the correct way to do it. It only shows, okay, just a second. I added Pune and these things also, right? I'll just do okay. So sales for Bangalore's are right on top of you. So suppose if you want to do some data analysis and your company has asked you that give us the sales for Bangalore. So now you can just safely go ahead and do is equals to sum of F2 F2 to, okay, I think, okay, just a second. Or maybe you can just do, yes, you can do sum of this value and this value, okay, and this will still work. Okay, so this is how you can give the answer to your company that Bangalore sales shows record at 1120 rupees for today or a single day, if whatever is your you can say parameter, right? Is this data daily, weekly, monthly, hourly, however it is. Okay, so with this insight, I think it is making some more sense on what filters do, how do they do. Let us go back. Let us delete this feature. Let us go to location and say select all and do okay. We are back with our data. Now, suppose while doing data analysis, one more interesting part could be that you do not want to see irrelevant data. Product ID is of no sense. I mean, like, it is only being used as a primary and foreign key if you understand the concepts of database. This can help you locate the product in the product table. Maybe there is one another sheet in which products are listed, right? And their details are right over there. But here it is just being used as a foreign key to map in this table, right? So what you can do is, since it is not redundant, it's not useful for us, we can hide the column. We don't want it. Okay. In fact, like if you are only working on total sales, you can just go ahead and even hide this, right? Do right click and hide columns. Now you are more focused on what do you want to do. You want your customers and total sales. That's the only thing which is visible. By this way, you also not even you can say manipulated data a lot. You just focus more on whatever you want to do, right? Those are some ways that you can look into. Uh, Again, suppose if you want to see here that which is a customer which is giving you a lot of insights. So again, you can go here, but this is again only applicable to small scale data. If you want to do for large scale data, we will talk about pivot tables very soon. So pivot tables are used if you want to find this type of aggregations, right? And for customer 105, these are the details that are available, right? Let me do control Z. And if you want to find the the highest sale record that has happened, so customer 102 from Mysore has given you sales of 5,496 rupees, which is uh, the best sale that you have planted in this area, right? All right. Okay. So, okay. um, okay. All right. Cool. So with this being said, let us just quickly move ahead. And once we have a taste of filters, how we can use, how we can apply them, you can even filter out the categories, you can filter out the numbers, and that's how the filters are supposed to work. We can go ahead and then we can also use different things, right? Okay. So let's select this part. Let us understand what conditional formatting means right now, right? I'll just select the part and click on conditional formatting. What conditional formatting does for us is that conditional formatting is used, so you can apply a range from here. Okay. What does it mean is that on the range you have selected, you will apply some formatting but based on certain conditions. Okay. So by default the condition is that if the cell is not empty, make it green. Okay. But I do not want to make it green if it is uh, just not empty. I want to add a condition, and you can see there are a lot of different conditions available, like all your logical operators, date operators, and text starts with and with, text is equals to, text doesn't contain, or text contains this, date before that, or is equal to this, greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, something like that. I want to apply greater than, and the value is like if the sales is greater than say 500, I'll call it a good sale, or let us say greater than 1000, I'll call it a good sale. Okay. Or even let us say 2000. So you see this is the format that we applied right over here, and these two are the benchmark for good sales. Okay. And suppose again if I go ahead and select this, I can add one more rule. So again, for people who have just missed this, I'll just go to format and I'll do conditional formatting right from here. I need not necessarily select this range first, I can select it later on also. I'll add one more rule on the same thing. If it is this one I'll go for less than or equal to say 500. Okay. I'll paint it as red, which mean like a poor sale. Okay. And there are much more complex sales that you can build, that if the product ID something like that, you can even exclude that. And maybe this is the one way to do it. So I have different variations, and I'll just add another rule. This time I'll select the range from uh, I'll add this range. Okay. Okay. And if is between, this one I'll go for is between. If it is between values 501, and if I'm not wrong, I think I added value of 2000 for good sales, right? If I have done this, I'll add the color something like this. Okay. And done. And you can see there are three different rules applied. Value greater than 2000, make it green. Value is less than 500, make it red. Value is between 501 and 199, make it yellow. So this is the sheet in front of you. The colors that you see are arranged in the descending order is because this cell is sorted on that basis. Let us go ahead and then sort this table, and now you will see that we have different cells in different colors, right? Okay. So that's one way to look at it. Again, students, try to just quickly apply some filters. Try to practice this in the live session. Let us see if you can do it. In fact, if there are any doubts, you can also let us know. All right, so let us move ahead. With this, I think we are clear on sorting, how it works, how we can do different sorts. Okay. Anyone having any doubt can quickly reach us in the uh, chats if you have any questions coming up, right? All right. If not, then we can proceed ahead. Okay. So we will start now, and we will try to understand some conditional functions which are available with us. Okay. Something like and functions and many other functions that could be used in Google Sheets, like average, count, count if, count all, count alphabets, count numeric, things like that. Okay. So we will also look into many more functions now. Okay. So let us start that, since there are no doubts coming in. I'll delete this. With this, we completed how to apply filters, how to do conditional formatting and things like that. Okay. All right. Let us delete the row selected. And once we have done this, we will proceed now, and we will just look into the and function. Okay. So what is and function? So and function is a pre-made function in Google Sheets, and it will return you either true or false based upon like things like greater than, less than, things like that. Okay. If it is applicable or not, what are the conditions that you are putting? If that condition works, true. If the condition not works, false. Even before we understand the and function, let's try to understand the and logic. Okay. We'll just compile, merge the cells. I'll go here, click on the merge option. So merge cells will merge this entire four cells for me into one single cell, and I'll say how the and logic works. Okay. Okay. So suppose we have input 1, suppose we have input 2, and then there is output. Okay. So what will happen in this case is that suppose if we have input and output like this, if the input is 1 0 1 0, and the input is 0 0 1 and 0, these are four different possibilities. There could be much more if the number of inputs are more. The idea is that AND operator will always look. Okay, how the AND operator works, I'll mention over here. I'll merge the cells. I'll copy this formatting, paste over here, copy this formatting, paste over here. Okay. And I'll add some notes. I'll add, you can say, some table around it. Okay. Something like this. Okay. Now also let me remove the shading from here. Let me delete this row. Let me also remove shading from here. And let me add this. Okay. And let me copy this formatting right in the bottom also. All right. Okay. Cool, right? Also, let us just delete this cell, delete this column, delete column. All right. Okay. So now what is happening is the output of this condition. Let us also mark inputs in some color so that it looks appealing and easy to look at. Let this be the output. Okay. Now, if you look at this particular part, what you will understand is that the output of inputs having 1 and 0 will be 0, and the output of this will also be 0, and the output of this will be 1, and the output of this will be 0. Okay. First input doesn't match condition. Okay. Both input don't match condition, or let this be 1. Copy paste. Second input doesn't match condition. Okay. Both input matched condition. So you see the best part coming right over here is that and will only work when all inputs match the condition. So say I'll just merge this. Say condition is all input should be greater than 0. Okay. If it is done, the output is true else false. Okay. So something like this. Let us call it false. Let us call it okay. Let us do control D, and let us make it true. So this is something that you can expect, and let's apply conditional formatting right over here. We will do just data, okay, or let us just do conditional formatting right over here. We will say text contains, or text is exactly false, false. Let's mark it as red, something okay. Let's not change text. Let's mark it little red. Okay, this is done. We will add one more rule that if it is not empty, fine, or else we can leave it like that. No worries. So this is how the AND logic is supposed to work, right? And now, since we are adapted and we understand the AND logic, let us proceed and try to see how we can apply it on some data, right? I'll just delete this task, then I'll just delete this rows also. All right. So once we are there, we will try to apply the AND logic and see different things, right? So we will use this Pokemon dataset for the example. Okay, let us just try to call this as title. Okay, we will fill it with some default color, say like this. So we have different Pokemons. We have their type 1, we have their speed and things like that. All right, so fine. Format painting to all point. Cool. All right, so I think we can merge this. We can merge the cells, format painting, and apply it to all other cells. Okay. Once you have done this, let us just quickly wrap it around. So ideally, we don't need to make this data. The data should be available with us on which we need to work. So we can check, if the Pokemon is of fire type, right? And we can add some more conditions. Suppose what is the fire type and the speed is greater than 70 or not. So if you can see, there are 3 different fire types. Okay. Let me also show you some more type of conditional formatting. If I click over here, I'll go on conditional formatting, and I'll go for color scale. Okay. And we can just simply apply color scale of things like that, but since it is numbers, it will not accept that. Okay, so in this case we'll have to apply you can say different formatting, like of text is equals to. Let us go to speed and then try to apply conditional formatting over here. I'll do format, conditional formatting. I'll go for color scale, and I'll start from something like light orange, and I'll add some midpoint, which could be percentile, uh, little more orange, and max value I'll go for more orange. So by default, Excel will be able to find the minimum and the maximum of this you can say selection. If I go ahead and again select it, even in the bottom right of the sheet, you will be able to see that there is aggregation data available. Min 43, you can see it, right? Maximum 100, average, sum, count numbers. You can see that, of course, all the normal data analysis tasks, Excel does it by default, or Google Sheet does it by default for you in the bottom tab also, right? So it will by default know that what is the minimum and what is the maximum, and based upon it, it will be able to understand that 100 is the top value, 45 or 43 is the least value. So 45 is in the 8th number row of Squirtle, and 100 is for Charizard. Okay, so Charizard in fact is the fastest Pokemon in this data set. All right. So what we will have to do is we will have to do some steps in order to find that if both the conditions are met. Okay, I'll try to add one row on top, insert one row above. Okay, and I'll try to merge this and also try to color it in some light, not light green, if light yellow. Okay, all right. Check if the Pokemon is of fire type and has speed greater than 70. So there are two different conditions to be met here. Remember, the AND logic is not restricted to just two conditions. AND logic can be extended to more than two conditions, right? For example, if I'll just go over here and in order to apply any formula, what you should recall or remember is that yesterday I've told you that we need to use equal to first, right? So I'll just select this cell and I'll do equal to and I'll do AND operator, okay? And I'll open up the parentheses, the round brackets, and we'll have to specify logical expression one, which is like the first condition that we want to apply, right? So what we will do is in this case I want b2 or sorry the b3 to be exactly equal to what. So if someone can just put it in the comment quickly, what should I write here? Anyone, if you understand the question correctly, let's see that out of all the live candidates, how many are able to quickly understand what is to be written here. This way we can keep the session engaging and interactive. The real reason of being live is that if you are completely awake in the session, if you can just correspond. So ideally it has 6 to 8 seconds of lag. If you are responding something, it can take 6 seconds or 8 seconds to reach to me. All right, so we have someone asking if is Google Sheets and Excel have same formula. Yeah, mostly 99.99%, if I'm not wrong, both the Excel and the Google Sheet will be applicable with the same formulas, right? They are built on the same logic. They are both you can say spreadsheet softwares. All right, so we'll just go ahead and we'll see that it should be fire, right? We'll type fire over here. This is our first condition. And how Google Sheet is supposed to work, it will go row by row by row. It will iterate and see if this things work or not. If they do work, then fine and enough. By comma, we can reach the second condition. Second condition should be that C3 should be greater than 70. If the question was greater than or equal to, we could have used greater than or equal to, right? But for now, we will use greater than 70. And we will hit enter to apply it. You can see definitely see it's a false over here, and the only places where we want to see true is right over here actually, as per our understanding. By visual understanding, fire and greater than 70 are these two, chameleon, or what is it, charmeleon, right? Charmeleon and Charizard. Okay, so once we just drag and drop, and that's where you see it. Let's apply conditional formatting right over here. We'll go ahead and we will do format conditional formatting. If text uh, is exactly true, keep it green. Okay, we'll add one more rule. The text is exactly false, uh, keep it something like this. Done. And that's conditional formatting right over here, right? So this is how beautifully we can craft and create conditional formattings, make our spreadsheet more colorful, more interesting. And this is how we can do the AND logic operators right over here, right? So I hope this makes sense and it clears out that how we can do different things, right? So the next thing is, in data analysis, what you can do is we need to find average of few things. That is also possible. We have built-in functions to do that. Okay, uh, I'll just try to find average speed of everything. Average could be found of anything. So if I do average, okay, So by default, you can see they have selected the formula of something like this. You can see in the top formula bar what I'm typing right over there. I'm writing average is the function name. I'm giving the range C3 to C11. Where is the C3 to C11? You can see right over here, starting from 45 till 78. This column, this part is C3 to C11, right? Now in that formula, I'm finding average, and the average is coming up to. You can just see if I just enlarge this a little bit, 67 point all triple six sevens. Now, ideally, I will not want so many points to be shown in the output. So what I can do is there is one more function that I can apply known as round. And this time I will apply double functions around it, right? So a function inside function, see how it will work. So whatever is the output of this average, take it, and what do you want to round it? I want to round it to 1 decimal, 2 decimal, 3 decimal, whatever you want. You can just put in as the places after decimal that you want. And I'll just hit enter. So 67.6 is the average speed. And what if I do not want any decimals? I'll just mention 0 over here. There are no decimals after it. And 68 is the average speed of the Pokemons looking around this data, right? So again, that's how we can perform average on different data sets. Okay. All right. So, well, that's fair enough. I think that's how we can do average. That's how we can do things like conditional and or logic like that, right? So let us try to see, there are more complex functions which are available. I'll just quickly try to make the data set for us. Okay, I'll just go here and copy this data set and try to apply it over here, right? Okay, I'll just quickly do unmerge. Okay, they're already unmerged, right? Fine. I'll just go here and do fine. Okay, conditional formatting applied right over here. Fine. Cool. So with this being said, let us just quickly again just clean up our sheet a little bit. Fine. So now we will see some advanced type of average if we want, right? So here we have type and average speed. Let us just make them. Let us just use this conditional formatting right over here quickly, and let us use this conditional formatting right over here. Okay. Let us use this conditional formatting right over here and maybe fill in these values with, say, this color. All right, works, right? Cool. So suppose if you want to find average speed based upon not just the average of numbers, but average based on certain values, right? So for that, there is again a function that we can use in order to help you write it down. I'll tell you equal to average if, right? So average if is a function or a command that is used to find the average if the given condition is met, right? So first of all, we need to specify the range for which we are trying to find the average, right? So average is okay. So we will just give that range over here. On what condition do you want to find the average? So I want to find the average if the Pokemon is of grass type. Okay, that's what I want to do here. So in order to do the average, what is the range of the condition? So range of the condition is right over here. Okay, which is B3 till B11. This is the range in which I wanted to find. And what is the condition you want to find? I want to find if it is equals to grass. I can also type it out over here, GRASS, something like that. Okay, or I can also take the, in order to avoid typos, I can also take this value from here, B3, or I can take the value from F4, wherever the value is available, right? I can take that value, or I can even type it out, no problem. And based upon this condition, what average do you want to find? I want to find the average from this data, from C3 to C11, and then you will see that you are getting average right over here, right? And if I extend that formula, it is giving me average of these things, right? So you can easily see that how we can find average of different Pokemon. So if you just see for grass, I think let us just quickly do this. You'll be able to see the average is 61.6667, and now you know the formula has also given us that. If you go for fire, you'll be able to see the average is supposed to be 81.6667, which is given us, right? Now if you further want, you can round it off using round, uh, okay, and this should help you out. 0, and I'll extend this formula right over here. That's it, there you go. So that's how you can find average given different conditions, right? Okay, so that's I think the way you guys can try to play around with different formulas whenever needed, however needed, right? So let us try to look at the next thing. So next thing would be in order to find how many different cells are there. Okay, so I'll just quickly take up some more Pokemon data right over here. Okay, and I'll try to paste it right over here. I'll just delete this, paste this, and I'll just delete this tab. Okay, in fact, delete this columns quickly. I'll take additional formatting, apply it everywhere. Perfect. Conditional formatting, apply it everywhere. All right. So okay, I'll just delete this. How count function works. So count is, again, you can say, a built-in function which is there. It can help us with numbers only. Remember, count is used for numbers by default. We'll have to use count a for non-number values. See, ideally, if you see, starting from row number 3, which is quite evident in the Excel sheet, you can see it is mentioned row number 3 till row number 22. You have different values, right? No need to even count them, right? You can just count these numbers from 22 minus 3. But trust me, when the data is more than enough, and when you're trying to find count for a particular range, count function is useful to help you do that. Ideally, you can just select this value and see the count, it is 9. Or you can select this complete value, see the count. Okay, I'll just do shift down, see the count, it is around 20 values, right? That's what it is, which is visible to you on a small scale of data. But the data is big enough, then this function can be useful. That's what I feel, right? So in order to count, what do you want to count? Like, of course, I told you it works only for numbers. I'll just add count function over here. And from where do I want to start? I want to start from D3, and I want to go till D22. Is it? Yes. And if I hit enter, it will give me the count of these values. Let us see what will happen if I do is equals to count from B3 till B22. Okay, if I do this, the count is 0. And why is that so? Well, it is pretty straightforward. I told you clearly that the count will only work for numerical values. If we have to count non-numerical values, the idea is to use count a. That's a function, right? So count a will help you do that. And now you see you are able to count both of them. So in case you are wondering, will count a work on numbers? Yes, count a will also work on numbers. If I hit enter, you see it still works over there. Now the idea is, sometimes in data analysis, people can ask you, find missing values, find places where the data is missing. How many of such instances are there in our data set? Okay, and what we can do is, suppose I'll just try to, for now, uh, add one row. Okay, and I'll say I'll just keep everything missing by default. Okay, so now I want to find count blank. Okay, so that's a function name, count blank. Okay, I want to give the range from A3 till A22. Correct? No, A23. I added one more row. So it will count blanks, and you see there is by default one blank available, right? One blank is available. If I extend this formula to all the rows, I'll be able to see that this is the possibility, right? Now I want to, of course, like, since 9 values are missing over here, and 1 values are missing in all, If the answer is how many individual cells have missing values, the answer would be simply sum of them, and the sum is 12. But that's not the correct way. We just need to find missing rows, right? So by counting 9 and these three values, you will get a wrong answer. There are not 12 rows which are missing with values. If you quickly try to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? These are the only rows which have missing values, right? So in order to uh, give the correct answer, what you will do is you will do maximum function will be applied, and you will start from this is a 25 till d25, and that's it. That's your answer about total number of missing rows available in this sheet. Those are 9. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, that how you can find total number of missing rows by doing this data analysis. And that's how count a, count if, count blank works, right? So again, count if is nothing but the same way how I told you average if works, right? So let's try to even try to do that, right? That will be interesting. Let me just delete this row, delete row, and your answer is again total 8 values are missing right over here, right? Let us try to create type type and their count. Again, type of how many type we have. Let me just mention this is equals to this b3. Let me just mention this is equals to b4 fighting water, and this is equals to grass. Perfect. Oh, we also have electric coming in, and many more. We have electric, we have water rock, and we have dragon type, and then we have bug, and many more. Actually, we have even poison, we have fire, and then we have ghost. Cool, right? So if we select over here, we can see the count is 20. But if I try to apply filter on it, okay, and then I see unique values, I'll be able to get it over here, right? So just by removing type on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that, okay. And if I check this count, it is around 10. Okay, all right. I'll remove the filters and just go back. Type, I'll make it bold. All right, I'll just also give this some color. Now let us see how that function can work for us, right? So we'll just select this, and we will do equal to count if. So count if is a function which will be used. We will pass the criterion, right? The criteria is that this is the range where you want to look into, right? And in this range, what is the criteria that you should find? The criteria is fighting. Check if it is equals to fighting, okay? And that's the criteria that we can pass in, right? So ideally we want to find for fighting, and then we want to find the count. So if we just do this, hit enter, we'll be able to see that this is the total count, right? So we have around like if I just do some, the 17 different of them, right? And if I just, okay, 20 of them. Cool. Maybe you must be missing here and there. Okay, cool. But anyways, we are able to find the count of fighting Pokemons. I think if I just search, if I GHT fighting, these are the two different Pokemons available here which are of type 1 fighting. Let me for now hide type 2 because we are not looking into it. And you can see it is right over here, right? We try to find for water. We have water right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 variations of water available right with us, right? If I try to find for rock, there it is, rock, only one variation available. So that's how we can do counting based upon some conditions also. And now the count function also seems interesting and applicable. uh, and there are many more simple functions that you can go. You can also go for standard deviation uh, based on some different variations. You can go for mean, median, mode, whatever it is, right? So we can also go for mode right over here. I'll show you how mode can work. We'll select the value right over here, and the mode of course should be water, right? Because water is most repeated. And okay, so mode cannot produce a result, no values occur more than once. Okay, so basically it's currently not working on the string category, but we can still try to apply it on different edge cases wherever we want. So okay, what I will do is I'll also look into this parameter right over here. Suppose we have different mode values, right? So we can select the range and try to find, you can say I'll just do mode dot mult multiple most commonly occurring value in the data set, enter. Okay, ideally it should work that way. Okay, fine. So never mind, but that's fine for now. And as I mentioned, there are much more functions that you can look into, and I'll definitely pass on the notes to you if you are coming up and showing live tomorrow. That's my guarantee that I'll give you the complete elaborated sheet and the notes on which you can practice and move along with it, right? Cool. Now this being said, I'll just quickly delete these values. Okay, and now we can try to look at VLOOKUP. How does it work, right? So in order to look at VLOOKUP, let me just quickly delete this data. Right click, shift right click, delete these rows. Done. Okay, and I'll just create some data again. All right, bold, and put some paint to it. Even this works. Format painter, apply it right over here. Okay, add some borders, add some borders, and some more borders right over here, right? Okay, so I'll explain you how VLOOKUP can work and how you can extend this and make a really interesting feature out of it, right? So VLOOKUP is used like it's a built-in function by Google which allows you to search uh, any data that you want across columns, right? Across column wise you can use VLOOKUP. If you're going for rows, you can use HLOOKUP, horizontal lookup, vertical lookup, right? That's the way that we can do it, right? So for simplicity's sake, let me try to add one column right above it, and I'll try to color it with say yellow, and try to add column number. Like this is column number 1, this is column number 2, column number 3, column number 4. You need not do this. I'm just doing it for you in order to help you understand it a little more uh, in a readable fashion, that the column name whatever it is, right? So search key, remember search key is something that you want to start from, right? Like the first column that you're selecting, that should be search key, right? So suppose I want to search on IDs, so the range which I'm selecting, the leftmost of this range should be IDs only. If I want to search by name, suppose if I want to search by name, then I will have to select name as the leftmost column, right? And if I cannot do that, I'll just simply have to hold B and then drag it on to the left side. Okay, I'll just hold B and move it right over here. Okay, if at all I want to sort my columns like that, this is how I can do it. But I will again hold B and drag it back to its position. But I just quickly explained you that what is the point. The point is to use VLOOKUP, whatever column on which you want to search on, the search query column, it should be the leftmost, right? That's how VLOOKUP will work. It will only take the leftmost column as the search ID or the search column, right? So of course we want to start from the hashtag, and like this is the column name, and we are keeping it on the leftmost place, right? And where do you want to search? So you can select the range in which you want to search. For now we can select even the entire table, doesn't matter, or you could select the adjacent column where you want to look into it, right? And you want to pass the index, right, on which index you are looking up. So I'll just quickly help you understand and explain how this VLOOKUP can work. So for VLOOKUP, what we will do is we will basically try to enter over here that do vertical lookup. What is the search key that you want to go for? So search key is that I'll put a value in this H4 column. Take it from here, okay? I'm highlighting. Look over there. I'm putting H4 as the input. Search this ID, and in which range do you want to search? I'll just select the entire uh, table for now. This area, okay? Search in this table, okay? And which is a column in which I will find this answer? So suppose I want to search the name. So name are in the second column. As you can see that I also labeled that for you on the top, that where the name are available. So in the second column, right? So I'll just mention look into the second column, and I'll close this, hit enter. For now it says NA because we didn't put anything in the search ID. So suppose if I put 7 in the search ID, it should give me Squirtle as the answer, right? Which is perfect. You can extend the application of VLOOKUP for more details, like suppose even if I want type 2, copy, paste. If I even I want that value, let me also unhide these cells. Suppose if I also want type 1, copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, cool. So if I want this, what I can do is I can extend this VLOOKUP also right over here, right? What I can do is you should look at this value in H5. But you see, can someone try to look into it? I'll give you some time. If you can look at this, why is our VLOOKUP not working? If someone can put it in the comments, more than enough. We'll just take 1 minute of time for everyone to look into it. Why our VLOOKUP is not working? All right. I'll just quickly explain you now why this VLOOKUP is not working. So if you look at your VLOOKUP, I told you the very first condition in which it will work is that your search key should be the leftmost column. Here A4 column is our ID, right? Which is not correct. It should be name. So we will just shift it to uh, B3, and that's the column, and now it will work. You see it's coming up as type 1 as normal. Is Quadral type 1 normal? I don't know from where it is getting it. Maybe I've hidden some column or not. Okay. All right. Okay. The column ID should be 3 probably right over here, right? I'll just quickly do that. 3. All right. I'll just add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So B3 till E23. Okay. Again, the column ID will be 2 over here because the first column is name and the type 1 is of second column. Once we hit that, I think, yeah, that's there. Okay, and once again we will do right over here. This should be H6 and this should be again starting from you can say C3. Okay, so I'll just add C3 right over here and go till E22 only. Okay, and I'll again look at this value, and if it all I put over here something like water, then this should have worked, right? H6 C3 till E22, and if I put water over here and the second position, okay, it's not available. Basically it's an empty thing, right? Hence it was not working either ways. It's an empty thing and it doesn't has that. If I add say squirtle, okay, 7 number, okay, if I do 3 over here, you see it is Venusaur. And let us look at what exactly is happening here. We are passing B till E22 and the second column, right? Okay, All right. For some reason, the VLOOKUP is taking up normal as a default position. If I try to do this 3 and fine, perfect. All right. Okay. So that's the name it's trying to capture right over here, right? All right. Fine, but that's the use case of you can say VLOOKUP that you can extend, and you can get much more data coming into it, right? Okay. I'll just try one more thing. I think I just feel why it's not working is because we need to pass in one more mandatory parameter, whether the column that we're trying to look into whether it is sorted or not. So if I just add false over here, then it will try to match. Yeah, so I think that's the thing that we want to add, false, and it should work then, right? Cool. So that's how it is working. Squatter water and type 2 is not missing. If I hit 6 over here, perfect, right? Charizard and fire. And if you go over here again, it is false, and it is C3 till this point. Okay, fine. So why it is not working is because it's trying to look at this VLOOKUP is trying to look at this fire, right, which is coming straight from this point, which is C6, and it's not able to match that, right? So again, in order to create such more engaging VLOOKUPs, we will have to add double conditions coming over there, right? We also have to look up if we'll have to use and condition right over here, right? That also that the value is equals to fires, but along with that, the name is also equivalent to our input as Charizard. Okay, then this VLOOKUP will also work, right? Okay, so fine. With that being said, that's how you can use VLOOKUPs, HLOOKUPs to create much more engaging and interesting data points for us, right? So okay, and you can extend this to Caterpie, which is on 10th number. It is a bug, and type 2 is missing right over there. We extend it to Bulbasaur. It is a Bulbasaur, type 1 is grass, and its type 2 is poison. Okay, so that's how VLOOKUPs can work. Yes. Yeah. For string values also, yes, Ritesh, we can use this true and false to also use the most close match. If you are using true, it will go for exact match. If you're using for false, it will try to find the best match possible for it, right? Okay, cool. So with this being said, let us try to understand how we can create a more engaging analysis. That is, let us try to create some pivot tables, right? I'll just try to add some data on the sheet. Try to delete these points, and there we go. Control Z. Okay. Okay. All right. Fine. So suppose I have some sales data with me. Okay, this is the data that I'm trying to use, and I want to create some pivot tables around it, right? So what I will do is I'll just quickly search over here. I'll search for pivot, and I'll be able to see this column or this function of inserting pivot table, right? So I'll just click over here, insert pivot table, and once I click on that option, it will tell me first to select the range in which I want to create a pivot table. So again, by default, the range is the sheet name and the starting point and the ending point, right? It is in short the complete sheet which has data populated over it. Where do you want to create this pivot table? Do you want to insert it in the existing sheet or on the new sheet? You can also mention that. We will create a new sheet to keep the sanity of the data, and visually it should be appealing. So we'll create one blank sheet. So as soon as you see there is a pivot table one created, and by default it comes with this editor open, but even if you close it, you can always open that editor up. Okay, so just by hiding and doing this panel, right? Okay. Okay, so with this being said, we can just quickly edit it, and the editor table will come back for us, right? Once we have it, we can do a lot of different type of pivoting. So let us first try to check for different products what is the sale happening, right? So suppose that right over here, what I will do is I will just simply add rows. So you can see there's add row option. If I click on add rows, I can select products right over there, right? Products are added: chocolate, hazelnut, dark chocolate. So these are our products, right? We sell different type of chocolates. Okay, products are added right over here. Now in the columns, what I will have to do is maybe I can do different type of analysis. Suppose if the question is I want to find the sales of these chocolates region wise, so I can select regions, we have four different regions probably, okay, and we can select those and see that we have east, south, west, and the grand total coming up, right? So if you see, this grand total is coming up because we have this grand total option ticked marked in the bottom. If you check on that, uh, if I remove this show grand total, this columns will go away. If I add these columns, I'll get it, right? So row wise, I'll get the total of a product. So suppose chocolate hazelnut, if I want to get the total, row wise I'll be able to get it. Column wise, I'll be able to get region wise collections of it, right? Again, so what you want to do is, I want to add values, and what values do I want to add is, I want to add total sales, right? What is the sales which is happening? And as soon as I click on it, you see the magic happens, and I am able to see sales of uh, the total things region wise, right? So this is how we create pivot tables, and we have different information coming in. Suppose the B column in the end grand total shows that in east we were able to do 4235.8 sales, whereas I think the best sales happened was in uh, west, and south was also in competition, okay. And if you see, the most selling product was extra dark chocolate. People are really liking this product that we are selling, and chocolate hazelnut is okay, dark chocolate is also okay, whereas milk based chocolate has also its own fan base, right? So our variations of regular dark chocolate and hazelnut dark chocolate are also making good sales, but I think the best thing that we are selling is either the extra dark or the regular milk chocolate. Okay, so this is how we can create some interesting pivot tables, and we can also try to show them as percentage of row, percentage of column, percent of grand total. You click over it, you will see percentage of grand total that around 0.89% sales came from east from chocolate hazelnut, 7.5% sales came from east from dark chocolate, and I think the most interesting sales, or the most contributing factor for sales, are 11.78% from east, which is extra dark chocolate, and 10.62% and 10.22% from southwest for chocolate hazelnut. But this west is really crazy for our milk chocolates, right? So this is some interesting way in which we can use pivot tables and even create some interesting things out of it, right? So suppose now if we want to understand how we can create charts in our spreadsheet and how we can use it, so for that the idea is that we will just have to go on search bar again. Let us search for chart editor or insert chart, okay, or else you can also search this from insert and chart, it will come over here, right? Insert pivot table, these are the options that you can use even from insert, or you can use this search, okay. If I search for search, I'll get insert right over here, and if I click over it, it will just quickly load up a chart for me, okay. Now chart type, whatever you want to do, is it a column chart, and you can get many interesting charts over here. A bar chart is suggested, or you can get a column chart, okay. East and south is the category. We can add some more, like we can also add one range from uh, west, okay. That's how you can add it. And let us just quickly edit this, add labels as product, okay, we don't want that. We will just remove, we will add series, okay, and that's how we can do it. Let's go back to the edit, okay. So you can see we can create interesting things with the chart. So how chart editor works is, you can select a basic chart type. What do you want it? Whether you want it to be a bar, vertical, horizontal, a line, area charts, column charts, pie charts. Even if I click on pie chart, you'll be able to see east and south and grand total right over here, coming from different regions, right? You can select labels, which is like the product should be our labels, right? Different products and values should be from east. If you want south chart, you can use south value. If you want more values, you can use more values, right? This dark chocolate and chocolate hazelnut coming in from west, okay. You can use different variations, right? uh, okay, and you can add more things. You can go for a column chart with different segregations, like okay, chocolate hazelnut, south is dominating. Dark chocolate, both are balanced. South, east, both look good. Southeast both look good on dark chocolate, and again, south is dominating us in milk and grand total also. Grand total, still it is somehow, you can say, balanced out because of the extra dark chocolate and dark chocolate being more popular in the east, right? That's the way. You can create some interesting charts out of different things. You can use legend. If you want to use legend, it is like something that you write. You want to keep it in the right, you see south is written in the right. You want it in the inside, or you want it in the inside, this is the legend, but they don't look good. You can put it in the bottom, you can put it in the top. I think top looks good. You can change the font in which they are written. Font size, you can increase the font size. uh, if you want it to be prominent, you can increase it to a next level, make it bold, italic, text color, whatever you want it, right? I think the more I edit it, the worse I make the chart, right? Because the color choices are getting poor and poor, right? You can use font label, whatever you want it to be. Font label, you can increase it if you want, you can decrease it if you want, based upon your choice, because you are the data analyst working on this task. You are someone who is responsible for making this interesting charts for us, right? So again, you can also balance out the vertical lines, but the main thing lies in the setup, where you will have to understand what goes on the x-axis, how you're combining ranges, okay, what is the data range that you're going for. Stacking is standard. Standard will mean it will come in the terms of percentage. If you want none, you can do it like this. Stacking 100%, different variations of charts that you can do. Area wise chart, okay, south, west, east, you can compare them right over here. Okay, and let us add one more series. We have south, west, east. Okay, we have three series only in our data, that's fine. Okay, so area wise, what is dominating, I think you can see right over here, it is stacked. Okay, and if you do not want stacked, you can go for southwest, east in this variation, which can also explain you some interesting things coming in from this table, right? So well, that's it all about. Again, I'll just quickly recap and mention that what we studied today is firstly, we saw functions, we saw some advanced functions, we saw horizontal, vertical lookup, we saw and if, we saw different count if, average if, different more variations of functions that are useful for data analysis. We saw how we can do conditional formatting. We saw uh, different variations of it, like when we can do uh, different colorations, how we can sort things, uh, hide things for us. We saw how we can create charts. We saw how we can add customization to it. We also covered how we can create pie charts, bar charts, different variations, different colorings. We saw pivot tables, how they are useful, and that's the agenda of today's session. And I think we have successfully completed it well before time, right? So if there are any doubts, we are totally open for the window. We can have all your questions coming in. We'll be more than happy to answer it to you, right? So go ahead, students. You can just quickly put in your doubts, queries that you have, and we will quickly cover it up for you. All right, that was really interesting session. Since no doubts are coming in, it was really interesting session. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Tata. See you. Good night.